everybody, AJ Ryzik here, and for today's Linux OS review, we're taking a look at Peppermint OS 7. Now, I looked at Peppermint 6 back when it was released, and it was an awesome distribution. So when this version came out, I was wondering, okay, how can you top it? Can you get any better? Well, they have made some improvements. There's some stuff that they've changed that I really like. So instead of just sitting here talking about it, let's start taking a look at what we got here. Peppermint OS 7 is based on Ubuntu 16.04, whereas the previous version was based on Ubuntu 14.04. So, with moving up to 16.04, we're getting the newer kernel, the newer packages, all the stuff that came with or comes with Ubuntu 16.04. Now, if you've installed Ubuntu 16.04 or any of the derivatives, you know what the installer looks like. It's the same installer. Everything went down without a hitch, no issues, no glitches, so all that was great. While I'm at it, I'll just mention, I liked Peppermint 7 enough that I also installed it on my laptop, as well as this testing partition that I've been playing around with. I'm still using the testing partition for doing the video just because I've already gone and tweaked stuff on my laptop and added packages, and it doesn't 100% look stock anymore. And I always try in my videos to stick with a default or stock view, which is why I'm still doing the video on the testing partition. But anyway, getting back to the review of what we got here. What's really interesting about Peppermint is that we've kind of got a merging of a whole bunch of different desktop environments. Essentially we've combined LXDE. We've got some OpenBox, which actually LXDE is based on OpenBox, but we got LXDE, we got OpenBox, we've got XFCE. We've got some applications from Linux Mint. We've got some of the Mate applications. So they've pulled stuff from everywhere, kind of going with the attitude of, let's get the best packages wherever they're coming from. Rather than, okay, we're making an XFCE distribution, we're making a Gnome distribution, just going with the best packages they can get their hands on. And, you sometimes have to worry about compatibility, but really, with the way they've got this set up, it really works well. So let's take a look at our default desktop layout. As you can see, real nice wallpaper, and there's a pretty decent selection of wallpapers. We got a single panel across the bottom, and starting over on the left hand side, we've got a menu which is the whisker menu from XFCE. And by the way, the panel is the XFCE panel. So if you're familiar with Ubuntu or any of the other XFCE distributions, as far as making changes to the panel, right click and you can go into the panel preferences, add new items, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we've got the whisker menu, which you can either click it or you can use the window button to open it. It has a search function if you don't want to browse through the categories. So let's say that we're looking for the ice application. There it is right up at the top. So, very nice menu. Really like it. And for me, having the keyboard search is a real big deal. It's something that I really look for in whether it's a menu or, if you don't have a menu that has a keyboard search in it, I want another application that allows me to do a keyboard search for the applications I'm looking for. I don't like scrolling through menus. Usually I know exactly what I'm looking for, so I like to type it in and boom, go to that application. So anyway, on the far left-hand side, we've got our menu. Then we got some quick launchers on the panel. Firefox, our file manager, which our file manager is Nemo, which is from Cinnamon. Excellent file manager based on on Nautilus File Manager before they started stripping features out of it. So let's say we'll go and just open up our document folder there. If you do a right click, you can see you got a fair number of different options there. You got the open as terminal, open as root. Those are some of the features I'm always looking for in my file manager. And of course you have a split pane view, so that you can drag and drop things from one folder to the next without having to open multiple instances of your file managers. Very nice file manager. So anyway, we have the Gnome file manager, we have our terminal, and then VLC. We have a quick link for that for our media viewing needs. And then we have a list of all of our open applications. Then we have our, as we move over here to the left hand side, we have our workspace switcher, so you can switch workspaces. We have our update manager, and we've got our network connections. This little indicator is for simple screen recorder, which is how I'm recording this video. And then we've got the rest of our tray icons, the volume and whatnot, and then our little calendar / time. Talking about the update application, let me go and click on that. We have the update manager from Linux Mint. Excellent tool. As you can see, I've got a few updates that I need to do here. So all you need to do, we'll just go and refresh them all, so it'll go and recheck for you. It once again downloads the package cache, take a look and see what needs to be updated, gives you a list there, and then gives you different package levels depending on the priority and security level of that particular package. To do to update, just install updates, boom, you're on your way. Very easy to use tool. Myself, I like using the command line to do my updates, but for anyone not familiar with that, especially a new user, this is an excellent update manager. All right, the Peppermint settings panel is, a lot of you are probably familiar with the Gnome setting panel in Gnome and Ubuntu, that sort of thing. This is a similar idea. It's just, I guess you could consider an organizational tool so that you can access all your different preferences and settings, that sort of thing. Under customize look and feel, when we open that up, we can play around with our various widget themes, stick with the default, change it, change your font from here, all that kind of stuff. And you got a little preview of the various widget styles. And while we're talking about it, you can see right here we've got some Peppermint specific themes. We've got the dark theme is what is running by default, but we've also got this pink version and red version of it. Then there's also the light, which is actually what I am running on my laptop. I think it's you get better visibility with light themes, but each to its own. And I'm glad that they've given you both a dark and a light option, as well as you've got some I don't know if you want to call them default, but other themes that they've been around a while, especially like Graybird, This Industrial, Redmond, Thin Ice. Those have been around for a while. But anyway, so we can play around with our widget theming. If you want to go with a custom color combination, change around the icon themes, which you can see once again we've got these Peppermint specific icons, and you get a couple of color variations on it. Also got the Numix circle and Numix, and then the Gnome and Adwa themes. A couple of options for mouse cursor. Play around with the font anti-aliasing and hinting, that sort of thing. And here under other, you got some GUI options as far as how you want the toolbar style and toolbar icons, that sort of thing. Panel preferences just opens up the XFCE panel settings. Peppermint Control Center, it allows you to make some window manager settings. Let me close that up there. that out of the way. And then you can see we've got our keyboard and pointer settings here, keyboard shortcuts. We've got some basic desktop effects. You probably already noticed the transparency settings, for the active and inactive windows. And then some control over window cycling, window focus, that sort of thing. Down here in the next row, we've got it shows all of our wallpapers, and you can change your wallpapers from here. Pretty nice, variety of different wallpapers. Not a huge number of them, but what they have are very nice looking. So let's apply that. We'll stick with that one for now. We also got our language support here, Firefox themer, so we can change the theming of the Firefox. Under hardware, this is where you're going to set up, your printer, sound, monitors, additional drivers, power management, all that kind of stuff. Under network, we've got our network management, Samba shares, Bluetooth management. The advert blocker is pretty interesting, and I've kind of mixed feelings about this. I like that we've got this advertisement blocker built in, so you just set it up, you're ready to go. There's no having to go and download anything or go find Firefox extensions, all that kind of stuff. The downside for me is I like the ability to go and whitelist certain web pages and whatnot. Just because personally, what I typically do is I've whitelisted the various YouTube channels that I've subscribed to, because if I'm going to continuously watch their channel, I want them to get the income from the ads that are showing up on their YouTube channel. I think it's just kind of common courtesy. I'm getting their content for free. I had to essentially, quote unquote, pay for it some way. But that's just kind of me. Like I said, it is nice that they've included an advert blocker by default, and of course we also have a firewall installed by default as well. Under system, here's where you can play around with adding users, groups, time and date settings, set up your default applications. You have access to your update manager and then your disk utility. So I'm not going to go through the entire list of all the software that's included. I really don't see the point in doing all that. Plus, it's going to take a long time because there's a lot of stuff installed by default. But there's a few things I want to point out for you. As far as software goes, for installing software, you got a couple of different options installed by default. You have their software manager. Let me go put in my key or password here. And for the software center, they're using it looks like the Linux Mint software center, and I think what it is, and I'm not sure if they've gone and done a few tweaks to it or not, because if you go and look under help and go to the about, it'll say Mint install 764 plus Peppermint 3. So I'm guessing they've maybe done a little tweaking to the Linux Mint Software Center. In either case, it's a very nice tool. If you're looking for a graphical interface for doing software installation, it works well. It doesn't bog down and crash like the old Ubuntu Software Center used to. So good tool there. You also have we've got the Synaptic Package Manager, which I really like Synaptic. And then for installing Debian packages, you have GDebi. Excellent tool for installing those packages. Now, one thing that I have noticed that is missing, if you come here to the menu, we'll take a look under, where is it? Office. and you'll see that there is no Office Suite installed. Now we've got a document viewer, and then we've got web app links to Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive. And my assumption is that we're planning on people using Google Docs for doing their Office docs, and a lot of people love Google Docs. Myself, I would rather see LibreOffice or something like that installed. And actually, that's what I did on my laptop. Is I've installed LibreOffice there. Not that that the Google Docs is bad. I know, I know plenty of people that use it. I know some businesses that use it because it is probably the best Office app when it comes to real-time online collaboration. However, it does have its shortcomings. I mean, I'm not going to go into all that right now just because it would take too long. But like I said, I'd rather see a regular Office Suite installed. Fortunately, it's in the repos, so go ahead and install LibreOffice if you want to install full Office Suite. You've also got like AbiWord, Gnome, those sort of things are available in the repos as well. Now, while we're talking about these little web links, that kind of brings up an interesting tool, which is the ICE tool. And basically what this does is it allows you to make web apps. And let's go and we'll make one. Let me open up Firefox so I can find a web address here. And I don't know. Here we'll just go to Facebook, and I'll log in here. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I'll just do one to Facebook proper. Don't even need to log in. So we got the web address right there, and get that out of the way. So what we're going to name the application, we'll call it Facebook. Put in the web address. Where do we want it to show up in the menu? Under Internet. Select the icon. We'll stick with the default icon. That's fine with me. We're going to use Firefox for our web browser, and then just click Apply. So let's close all that up. And so now if we open up the menu, go to Internet, right there it is, Facebook, click on that. And boom, there it is. It opens up Facebook. So I don't know, it's definitely a neat tool that if you've got certain web addresses that you go to all the time, you could easily go and make a menu category and have all those listed in there. Now, whether that's more convenient for you as opposed to adding it to quick starts on Firefox or whatever browser you want to use, or adding it to your bookmarks in Firefox, I guess that really comes down to personal preferences. But if you do want to have this kind of tool, or do want to have those kind of quick links in that, it's a very nice tool for doing that sort of thing. As I mentioned earlier, everything worked out of the box for me, no issues or anything like that. Another big advantage of running this distribution is how light it is on the resources. So let me drag over, here's Task Manager right here, and you can see that right now my CPU usage is only 12%. I'm using 752 megabytes of RAM. That's out of my 16 gigs of RAM. And remember, I'm running the screen recorder, I'm running the task manager, got a few other things running in the background. I got a lot of processes running, and I'm still less than a gig of RAM. So this is going to be an excellent distribution if you have maybe an older computer, older laptop, only got a couple gigs of RAM. This is going to run great for you. It's also going to be nice for those of us out there that use some pretty memory and CPU intensive applications. Just because you're not using a whole lot up in the background. You know, when I was looking at my baseline RAM usage, which is before I started up any of the applications, with the exception of the task manager, I was under where was I? I was like 200, 225 megabytes of RAM, so very lightweight, and yet I'm not seeing anything here that I'm missing. You've even got a few animations included, some shading and transparencies, that sort of thing. Well, I guess it's pretty obvious that I really like this distribution. Otherwise I would not have put it on the laptop. And at least for right now, that's where it's staying. Really haven't seen another distribution out there right now that is working out for me on the laptop. So not that there's not other good distros out there, don't take it that way. It's just that I'm not seeing any right now that I like better than this one. Anyway, that just about finishes this review up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give us a big old thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And I hope to see everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot.